Good afternoon, everybody. I already did a video today and it was about the message from Metatron, and I'm getting the messages coming through that each of these angels want to speak to you. So I'm going to allow Raphael as well as Michael to speak as well. Metatron gave us a message about Lucifer, and he really wanted you to see something different. And now I'm just going to close my eyes and allow the message to come through. And this time it's Archangel Michael that wants to speak to the world. He appears to me as a golden dragon that lands in front of me and wants me to ride his back. So I get on his back and he flies into the air. And he flies up really high and right into space. And he flies around the world a few times, and he kind of shows me like the energy of the world, and he shows me how the cities have so much diversity of energy that they give off, and how the wilderness has a cleaner energy. And it's like, so you look at the world and you see the forest areas, like say the north is all forest. There's a ridiculous amount of forest to the north. And it doesn't have that much life though compared to say the Amazon rainforest, which uses up pretty well all the oxygen in the rainforest. But it's showing me all these different parts, and the wild areas give off a beautiful greenish blue light. And the cities give off all kinds of light, but it's like it's almost like polluted though. It's like a black grayish energy, and there's also all colors coming from the cities, but you see that these dark energies kind of go out like a forest fire off, or a dust storm, how they cover like a really big area, and it's becoming more and more like this all throughout the world, because people destroy a lot of things. Why animals and plants work in unison to create a balance. Mankind is creating an imbalance in the world, but it doesn't have to be that way. Michael says, why can't people work with nature to create a balance in the world? Because we can, this was brought up before many times, that we can actually create a better world to improve the environment instead of destroying it, but we choose to destroy it. And he shows me how this pollution spreads until everything, all of the greenish blue energy fades. And it's just replaced with this twisted, foggy, black energy. In the world now, as you go by, all you see is that twisted energy. And eventually, these start to dry. Like, even there's not even any. It's almost like it's becoming like Venus, because the poles are becoming. There's no more water or moisture in the poles. So it is like almost like a desert, and especially to Antarctica, it's like all the water has melted away, or the ice has melted away to reveal just a massive continent of almost like a big desert. Because the life it melts so quickly that the life doesn't actually reappear, and it starts to be this all over the world. Is just the whole world is creating this disgusting smog. And as you go by from this distance, when you're looking down to the earth, it just looks like a horrible thing. And it shows that it turns into really messed up looking place. And it gets super hot and dries. Everything starts to dry up. And now all the moisture is now gone. It's like it evaporates away, and it's not, and the atmosphere gets super thick and super hot, and everything dies. and now there's just a dust pool. And then something else happens, and it's like, as this is forming, it's like the earth is bleeding in a way. You see all this energy being pulled from it, and eventually it just looks like Mars. And there's nothing left. And it's just up a dry, dead planet. And this is a message that comes, and Michael wants this message to the world. This is what he wants the world to see. But then he shows me a different world where there's domes all over the world, and there's still greenery in these domes, but the rest of the planet is still dead, except for these domes. And then I see domes on Mars, I see domes on the moon. But we still killed the planet. But this is another possible future. And we extend out to the different planets, even to Jupiter. And we were actually inhabiting all the different moons. This is another possible future. But then he shows me another future where there's no more oil and gas, so to speak. It is replaced with electric energy. And also the way we build is different. We don't build destructively, we build positively. And when we look at the world, it gives off, even the cities are giving off this greenish blue energy. And the cities themselves are almost invisible from space because they're made like their environment. It's really, really beautiful. At night, of course, it's quite lit up. But in the daytime, you could fly by this planet from space and you never even know there was any type of cities on here. But at night you see them. And it is a beautiful place. It's like people can, it's really, really hard to believe, but people can actually go and drink out of the local fountains. In a way, they can drink out of the ocean. Well, not the ocean, but the lakes. And the oceans are clean. And they're thriving with life. But it's a balanced life. There's parts of the world that are kind of kept in check. Like you could say, like the rainforest itself is kind of a sanctuary that people can visit, but they don't build there anymore. And we're building under the oceans in parts as well. And we're building actually even on mountains. And like, it's amazing what I'm seeing here, even floating cities. Like it's kind of, it seems sci-fi. But they're telling me that this is possible. That we could do so much if we work together. And we come together and actually really, really look at what we're doing to this world and what it can become. This is also a possible future. But why is it that we don't choose the really nice future? Why is it that all the movies and all this stuff that we're saying is creating futures where there's no hope? That it's just going to happen. Why are we doing that? As a civilization, how does it make any sense? And I think part of the problem is that you got a lot of people that think they're only going to be here once and are never going to come back. Well, it's not true. I think the people that are causing all the destruction are going to be the last ones to hear right to the end of the destruction. And they're going to be the ones that know that they created that destruction. Now, they also could be the ones that change the world to make it like this last planet where people and things are working together to create a beautiful, amazing planet that isn't dead. And I see that we're still living on the moon, we're still living, and we're actually traveling to different parts of the galaxy at this point. That is possible as well. But why is it, this is the part that Michael has a really hard time with, is like, how is it that this makes any sense why we wouldn't choose this world. He has a really hard time understanding why people continually accept our governments. I guess people feel like, I'm saying this to Michael, people feel like they have no power. But he says that is not an excuse, because you do have the power to make change. Why is it that we continue to make decisions the way we do? And he's saying that he's here to guide people. He's not going to tell you what to do. He isn't going to come down and say to the world that you're making a mistake. He is here in the background whispering to us to tell us and to help us, to guide us, not to do it for us. There's no angels going to be coming down here to stop what we are going to do, because that is not how things work. It doesn't mean, he actually says this, it doesn't mean that another planet won't, though. It's not saying they're going to come down and kill it, but there might be an intervention from another planet. That's only if they take notice, though. And there's a lot of alien beings that are watching the Earth, but they almost like it's almost like there's a set of rules put in place that when we become this sentient as a human race, and the alien race is watching us, it is up to us to change. It's up to us to make these decisions and not other people to do it for us, because we'll never learn. We can't be integrated into society if we can't even get along with ourselves and with the animals and with nature. That was a short message from Archangel Michael, and the next message would be with Raphael. And again, thank you very much, everyone. If you wish to do a service with me, you can visit my website at amonrosstheawakening.com, and you can visit my Northern Lights page at josephbradleyauroras.com. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.